I don't know. It's profound. So this doctor was doing deep hypnosis on what was on the other side of our current reality. And okay, so there's that. But get a load of this. Since a predisposition to being gay or lesbian person is essentially biological and not the result of social learning or environment, these bodies are picked by souls for two basic reasons. 75% of the time because they are comfortable being male or female. I find that gay and lesbian clients have started the process of alternating gender choices in their lives, which is reflective of the more developed soul. Choosing to be a gay male or lesbian female is one means of affecting that transition in a particular life. Thus, their current sex may not be as familiar to them as the body of the opposite sex, such as a gay male feeling as if he is actually in the body of a female. The second and far more important factor is souls choosing a gay or lesbian orientation in advance of the life they are now living, because they deliberately choose to exist in a society that would be prejudiced against them. My gay and lesbian clients are usually not young, inexperienced souls. If they go public, this means these people have decided to live a life where they will be swimming upstream in a culture with rigid gender role stereotypes. They must try to rise above public abuse in order to find self-esteem. I'm drooling. And self-identity. This takes daring resolve, which I see when I take these clients back to the life selection room when these decisions were made. So you get to choose what body you go into. I have to say that. And it does explain that in this book, Destiny of Souls. To illustrate all this, I had a gay male client who was once an empress in China. After a long wait, he was in his first incarnation since that life of luxury and power. This soul, known as Jamona, explained that as an empress, he was in the body of a strikingly beautiful woman who wore a fortune in jewels and was waited on hand and foot, befitting her rank. It was a life of self-indulgence, lack of trust in everyone around her due to court intrigue and adulation by her subjects. In the life selection room, just before Jamona's current life, there were 3 body choices. This is what my client had to say about his decision. Of my 3 choices, 2 were women, and 1 was a handsome young man who I was told was feminine inside. One woman was very thin, almost frail looking, who was to live a quiet life of a devoted wife and mother. The other woman was chic, kind of flashy, and destined to be a society gadfly. She was also emotionally cold. I chose the man because I would have to cope with a life of homosexuality. I knew if I could overcome the shame of society, it would offset my life of adulation as an empress. These selections were in keeping with the usual spread of body choices. The attractive society woman would simply have been an extension of my client's former life as a public figure who was self-absorbed and envied. The housewife would not have been a poor choice. Here was a middle of the road offering where Jamona would have learned to be humble and accept life's trials in poor circumstances. Even so, the candidate was another woman, and Jamona wanted to break a long cycle of being in female bodies. Choosing the life of a gay man, according to him, was the hardest one, although he has been much more financially secure than the woman of ordinary means. We are not coached during these selections, but the older souls know there's often one tempting choice that would not test us very much. Jamana knew this was the society woman. He made his choice not because he was pushed into selecting the leading candidate of the gay male, but because the trial was clearly the hardest. My client told me, there have been many people in my life who have treated me with disgust and even loathing. I needed to experience this discrimination to feel unsafe and vulnerable. One thing I have noticed in the selection of bodies is that the more advanced souls are able to make insightful comparisons between the bodies offered them within the time periods that are presented. I also see many less advanced souls accepting the body they know they ought to choose as the best course of action. They trust the selection process more than themselves. A client said, "For me, getting a new body is like trying on a new suit of clothes off the rack that you want to buy and hope it won't need alterations." I love this book. Thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. Also, sorry this video was kind of long.